One of the reasons when I founded my company, 12 Willis Press, was that I have two children of my own, a 21-year-old and a 14-year-old. And I had subbed a couple years prior to that, and so I worked with all these kids, and I was seeing such hope. And yet, you come home, you listen to the radio, and you hear so much unfortunate news about ice caps and overheating and temperatures rising and record-breaking whatever. And so it gets really disconcerting. And so I get really down, and all I hear is the negative. Yet I look at the children, and I'm like, how can they have so much hope? How can you have so much hope?
I usually like to go outside when I'm writing and like walk near a river or sometimes climb up in a tree, and that just lets me think more clearly. Well, I do a lot of painting, and a lot of times the paintings that I do will be inspired by my writing or vice versa.
You know, we live under such a disconnect today from the natural world, and we're so saturated with negative, images and news and destructive things that are happening around us that we really can't control. And I think, you talked about sort of wanting to ask, like, what kind of gives us hope going forward. And I think, any type of loss, like nobody gets to go through life loss free. I thought I was exempt. It didn't work out that way. But for me, I think writing about the nature, the natural world and nature in my stories is a way to kind of connect with something I think we've lost touch with as a society. We're so disconnected from each other and from the natural world. And I think spending more time in nature is a way to get closer to each other and also kind of consider something larger than ourselves and what a great gift we've been given. And so I think that's something I really hope to inspire young people with my writing.
Yeah, hope is an important thing, and I think it's I think in nature writing, there is a lot to, or in science writing and nature writing, there's a lot to be pessimistic about, and finding that hope, I think, is, in your communications with us, that really sort of made me sort of rethink. A lot of times my writing as a journalist is dealing with the problems and not necessarily dealing with the hope as much. One of the things that I find very empowering, and something that I tried to touch on in my essay in the piece, is that it doesn't always take a broad, sweeping change to see benefits. We don't need to, stop something entirely, or we don't need to change our lives entirely. Sometimes smaller acts can really have what might appear to be an outsized effect. I think, working on this anthology really helped me to remember that that's as important a story to tell, if not more important.